Owens.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ma'am, are you with the agency?
I am.
Okay, well, I didn't hear that when you came in.
But, yeah.
Who's buzzing, me or you?
I think it's me. That's why
Okay.
I keep stepping back. I can hear the echo.
Quick question for my esteemed senator. And by the way, this is a senator from my district. He's much smarter, and his dad's my neighbor. Just so everyone knows. You are simply trying with this legislation. We're simply trying to extend what the governor codified in his proclamation. That's right.
Representative Owen, that's what we're trying to do. We brought in, I think, completely unjustifiable hypotheticals into the conversation. All we are attempting to do is apply some certainty for our employers to know that what was entered into an executive order is codified, and that will be the rules to the game for the rest of this year. That's all we're trying to do.
Ma'am, you look like you want to say something.
I mean, it can be done in proclamation. When you put it in statute, we are now locked to that. And any of the uncertainties that you're discussing or the certainties that you are discussing, those are hypotheticals on both parts. Nobody in this room knows what's going to happen to the trust fund as these individuals go back to work. We are going to see a decrease of what's coming out of the trust fund in payments as individuals go back to work. Everything at this point is hypothetical.
Sure. I mean, none of us have lived through this.
But what I do know is if you tell 100% of their employers they don't have to pay their taxes on the time they normally pay, the 90% we saw in the first quarter, we will not see in the second quarter, and we will definitely not see in the third. They're going to shift their funds elsewhere.
So
we will not be a priority.
So when the rules to the game under proclamation were that they could have postponed paying them in the first quarter, the actual result of that was that 90% of them paid on time, and now you're suggesting that if we extend it in the second and third quarter, that all of a sudden nobody's going to pay.
The revenue that they had incoming in January, February, and March is a lot different than what they're going to have April, May, and June. So April, May, and June, you're going to have a reduction of the percentage that will pay timely. And I mean, it's conversations we could have had outside of here and probably directed this somewhere else. But I don't think statute is the place to do it. If we need to continue, we'll do it through proclamation.
Then with all due respect to all parties involved, if this bill passes this committee today and we start moving towards the floor of the House, I would concur with what Senator Seabaugh said, possibly reconsider some of Representative Cormier's amendment, especially the last one, which I think would be very good, and I'm glad it's offered up. And also people who are absolutely against this petition the governor, and I am against continued and ceaseless unilateral proclamations, but if we think it's necessary, then it might be worth considering. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Owens. Representative Horton.